So we are going to record 2 episodes back to back.
Yep.
This one will be a long one, so we've decided to split it into 2 episodes.
Yep.
All right. I don't even know where to begin. This is phases.
Well, I figured we could start by how have you been?
Well, actually, I am getting over being sick. So I was sick the entirety of Hershey. I had bronchitis.
Did you end up going to a doctor?
I did go to the doctor. It's bacterial, not viral, so I didn't get anybody sick.
So
it didn't come from me.
Well, yeah. I didn't give it to anybody. I don't know who gave it to me. Not pointing any fingers.
I really believe that it was the allergy, like my MCAS acting up for me.
Yeah, because yours was.
When I got home, however, John got me sick. Something was going around the office. One person did test positive for COVID. She was the last person to get sick, but none of the rest of them tested positive. So we don't know.
Yeah, go figure. It's the season too,
yeah.
But I usually get.
It was a really good reminder that I need to schedule my flu shot and COVID shot.
Yeah, I usually get sick. I usually get a good sick once a year. I do not get sick very often. Usually I'll get like a 24-hour, kind of feel icky, but then I'm on the mend. So this actually it was brutal. It was long and brutal. The thing that you're supposed to rest.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like the number one thing. You're just supposed to rest. And of course, we worked all weekend. So
there was no rest.
So when I got home, I was exhausted. I actually ended up taking the entire week off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ended up taking the entire week off. I had Tuesday off. Then I called and canceled my Wednesdays. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm feeling it. Yeah. So then I canceled Thursday and Friday also. And yeah, so I did work yesterday.
Yeah.
I did 3. I only had 3 cats yesterday. But yeah, so I ended up having the entire week off.
Wow.
I wish I could say that I, just rested, but of course
that's not possible.
Yeah, I didn't just rest, but it was still I did rest.
Yeah,
I got some rest. And
you got some rest. You got better on the mend.
Yeah. Now my throat's a little scratchy from all the coughing I was doing the last few days.
I mean, that's my life.
Right, because because everything was stuffy. Then it started to loosen up and started, coming out. So now my throat's kind of scratchy. It's not sexy, boys. It's all scratchy from all the coughing I was doing. But I'm good. I feel much better. Now Sam's sick. But I told him, I said, yeah, just, it's not viral.
It's not me.
It wasn't me. So you got that shit all on your own.
Yeah.
So see how he does. He's in bed. He looks terrible. He got out of bed this morning. Really bad. And we stayed up really late because of that fight. There was a boxing.
I'm like that fight.
Yeah, that fight. That boxing match. That was a big deal. That was on last night. We stayed up to watch it, so it was damn near 1 a.m. crawling into bed, which is not our. We're old.
not your normal.
No, we're old. We eat at like 4 and we're in bed at 8.
Yeah.
How about you?
I mean, same. I was sick when I got sick when I got back. And that was definitely a good portion of it was because I pushed myself so hard. Yeah, and it's rough because and I don't realize it until afterwards, but I dissociated for half of the show. Yeah. And so I felt great. Other than the MCAS flares, the allergy stuff, I felt great because my brain was like, yeah, we can't hear any of the pain that your body is in right now. This is great. So I felt great, which made me work harder because I wanted to go home. And so then I overdid it. And then it really hit me on Monday. I was so freaking tired trying to drive back. I could barely keep my eyes open. I mean, you drove for a good portion of it because I couldn't.
more this past trip than I've ever
Yeah.
driven. So I just don't do that much driving.
Yeah. And getting pulled over.
We got lucky.
I'm willing to bet that he was at the end of his shift and he's like, I don't want to do paperwork on this shit.
He's very nice. He lectured me, which is fine because
you were in the wrong.
I was way in the wrong, like, very wrong. Like I did so much wrong, but nobody was hurt.
No one was hurt.
No one
you
was
weren't.
hurt.
You weren't necessarily being like.
I wasn't reckless. I was
reckless,
just speeding.
Speeding in.
I was in the wrong lane because he had somebody pulled over.
Oh yeah.
When there's construction or emergency vehicles in one lane, the law is you have to, if you can, you have to move into the other lane so that you give an empty lane.
And if
between.
you can't, you're supposed to go 20.
You're
below,
supposed to
20.
drop 20 below the speed limit. Now, in my defense, I did slow down, but I was still going well over the bridge. Anyway, it was bad. It was bad. But yeah, we got lucky. He did not give us a ticket. We were out of there pretty quick.
Yeah. It was kind of funny too because he came up to my side, and I was still like half asleep.
Yeah, I don't think it registered when I said we're getting pulled over. You were just kind of like, oh.
Okay.
And then the cop was at your window.
Did I say Jesus? Oh boy.
I knew you didn't mean it. But yeah.
Just yelling Jesus at a cop.
But your window was closed, so he didn't hear you. And then he was like, you guys aren't out here grooming, are you? Because of all your magnets. We're like, no, we're just coming from a show.
Yeah, coming from a show.
Sorry. Should have said, why? Dog need nail trim?
Does your dog need a haircut?
We're here. I mean,
we'll do it.
We can do it. It's fine.
But yeah.
That was our excitement. We
Yeah.
didn't get thrown out of any hotel.
No.
I did not have a good stay.
Yeah. They understood. Yeah. They knew.
But as soon as I found out what was wrong with me, I apologized. I sent Elena a text and I apologized and I let her know that turns out this is what I'm kind of dealing with. But I did assure her that I would be good for New England. Yeah. But she's not going to be there for New England.
Yeah.
No, and I did some good networking. So that was good. I met one person. I can't remember her first name. I think it's Cassandra. Anyways, she goes by the Unlimited Groomer. And she's been doing classes for like business and stuff like that, but she is also neurodivergent and really wants to kind of get into that kind of side. She wants to actually write a book for basically it's like shadow work, but she sees it. She's not witchy. She sees it more from the mental health side. So whatever wording that they use, it's the same thing. That's what it is. But basically it's working through shadow, like working through your traumas and stuff like that. Having it, she wants it based for groomers. Like that's her thing, is like she wants it on groomers. So, no, she was really cool. Yeah.
You should give her my number. I can tell her what I did. Seriously.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can tell her how my shadow work.
No, honestly, we should do like a Zoom call with her because I think there's good connections there too. So at least she didn't say she's witchy. I didn't get the witchy vibe.
We got a lot. We got a lot of somebody asked in the, I believe it was the Programmer Network about witchy grooming groups. So I was going through the comments and somebody said there is one, but I can't remember what it's called. And so I was like, no, witchy groomers. And they said they don't post much, and I thought, yeah, you're right, we don't.
Yeah, we got to work on it.
But I said the witchy groomers were really new, so we're just trying to get going, and we probably had a dozen.
That's awesome.
members. So I posted in there this morning, and I made a note to myself that I admin a couple of groups, and I want to make sure I hit each of those groups at least once a day with something.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a silly meme, and I need to get myself into that kind of habit.
Yeah.
To do that, and then revisit and see what the conversation.
I think that's a good idea. No, I'm not good at going back into the for the cat grooming group. I have an admin team, and most of the time I'm not in the group because like people just make me angry. So like they come in and they're like they'll like message and be like, so this is what's happening. What would you like to do?
I'll get the messages from the Wisconsin group admins message like, oh, this is going on. How do we handle it? In fact, I told you about something, and apparently it was something old, but it gave me the icks, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna remove these two people from the group, and then and then after I removed them, I felt a little bit bad because the person was asking questions, and she wasn't going to get an answer now because she's no longer in the group. But it was just like, I don't know. It just, like I said, it just gave me the icks. I'm not entirely sure what the right answer is in all of this, but I made a decision.
Yeah. You gotta, sometimes there is no right decision. It's just the best one you can do at that time.
Yep, I just did it, and whatever.
Yeah, I met quite a few cool people, lots of neurodivergent groomers. My Discovering Focus class, they both went well. My Discovering Focus class, so that was the last one. So it was Sunday at 2. Yeah, because I couldn't get back. I'm not complaining because that was awesome. But like, yeah, so first of all, it's Discovering Focus on Sunday in the afternoon is a bad choice all around. But what is nice about this class is that I have it more open discussion, kind of like bringing ideas together kind of thing, and less like actual presentation. So I have the extra time, and it ended up pretty much devolving into like just them asking me questions about ideas for systems and stuff like that. But and then at one point it devolved into, we want about 100 more of you so that we can have a whole resource for groomers who are neurodivergent for like helping them with getting jobs and keeping jobs and stuff like that. And I'm like, it's a really good idea.
So
that's when you started looking into cloning.
Yeah. I wish there was 100 of me. There's not, but true. Yeah. I mean, mostly for work. Like, I still want to be the one that has fun, just like the clones do the work. That sounds terrible. That's why I don't have clones.
Movie Multiplicity. No, it is hysterical. It is hysterical. It's Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Andy McDowell, and he clones himself not once,
but
twice, and then his clones clone themselves. So there ends up being 4. But yeah, it's and of course chaos ensues. But it's older. It's older. I mean,
yeah,
it's probably, but it's a funny movie.
I'll have to look
We actually just watched it now, maybe 6 months ago.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, like those are things that I'm like noodling, which is fun. Doing some noodling on how to just be able to help more people. Yeah. So that was my. Anyways, so the point was networking went fairly well, and I got complimented by multiple people about my content at the show, including Shannon. I think it's because it's Shannon Winnings. Shannon Roberts. she does a lot of content, which so like she's known for her content. So saying like she likes my content was very nice. I was like, ooh, thank you. And then I got recognized for my stuff with Red Rock too, which was pretty cool. So yeah, yeah. So that was a different situation, but yeah, doing Red Rock, Glen Rock, Jesus. I swear I know the name. My dad's company, Glen Rock. I do his social media, and so like yeah, I got noticed from a local entrepreneur in that area. They want me to do social media for them. So I haven't decided if I'm going to do it cuz like I enjoy doing it. I have fun with it, but also do I have time for it? That's where it really is. So cuz I think I'll enjoy it. It'd be nice to get paid for it instead of just doing all my free stuff for myself. So, but yeah, uh talking about the moons, we want to do a little bit of a moon check-in. Today is the last quarter moon. Today, as in the day we're recording, September 14th. So it's 49 to 50% illuminated in the waning phase, and it is in Gemini.
What that means.
Yay!
Moon in Gemini. An air sign, the moon in Gemini is an excellent time for thinking, learning, reading, pursuing curiosities and interests, focusing on mental activities, traveling, and talking with fascinating people. You may find that journaling or discussing deep topics with others will lead to rewarding insights and new perspectives when the moon is in.
That's
Yeah. I found after we had talked about it
Yeah.
in a different episode, I actually by almost accidentally came across this
Yeah.
book, and I was like, oh my gosh, see, this is what I need to kind of have this handy.
Yeah.
yeah.
This is
This
why
you have the books.
So
So yeah, that's it.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
really cool. 'Cause, yeah, I don't know.
Quarter waning.
Yes.
Yes.
So last quarter, you may feel called to finish projects, clean house, or tidy up during this phase. Work magic to clear, release, and let go. She was cleaning when I got here.
I was,
and
I
I
also
planned
this
I
was
was planning
either today or tomorrow to go through my
through
closet.
You know what's funny is I have been really pushing myself to I need to. Well, okay, so we had a lot of rain yesterday morning. It was storming, and yesterday or Friday, I had closed the windows in our upstairs, and it's warm up there, but we're not up there, and so I closed the windows, and in fact, they were only open a little, but I closed them. So yesterday morning, when I get up, there's water everywhere. So I grab the towel, I start closing windows, wiping windowsills, wiping the floor. We have hardwood floors, so I'm wiping the floors, and I tell him, I was like, yeah, there's water everywhere, and then he said something about upstairs, and I was like, well, I closed them. Well, then I had cats come in yesterday morning, so I ran upstairs to get their cards. The fucking windows are wide open on both sides. And I'm just like, apparently he went up there the day before and reopened them, and wide open. Like, he doesn't just open the windows a little. He, wide open. So up at the top of the stairs, I have my mom's cedar chest. And, this thing is older than me. It's a piece of furniture that I have that was hers that, is very special. Water all over it. Not to mention I had books and stuff on it. Yeah, so I was kind of pissy. And it's not his fault.
Yeah.
It was a mistake. I could have easily have left windows open. So it's not his fault. But I'm pulling everything out, and now I've got paper spread all over the floor to try to dry them out.
And in that moment, you were definitely cursing him out.
On that foot of the bed because the window was wide open. It's like, I get opening the window, but do we have to open them wide? Is that really But yeah, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
You win some, you lose some.
Exactly. It made me think about storms, and I think I was looking up memes for storms. And I can't remember if I found anything I thought was interesting. I think I did find a cute little poem, but I couldn't seem to get it to figure out how to copy and paste it because it's not mine. So of course it had a little, little through it or something.
So yeah, I mean the energy is kind of reflective, letting go, kind of reviewing lessons. Which kind of interesting that it's also at like the time when school is starting. Like most kids, when you go back to school, you're reviewing old stuff first. The moon knows, man. The moon knows.
Well, and I guess if you want to go back further, like with like planting, like farmers and stuff, they use the moon to decide when they're going to plant things and when they're going to harvest things. Like it's all, it's all lunar cycle is what's got like, like our wheel of the year really kind of goes off. And so it does kind of make sense that they planned schools because school was supposed to start after the harvest, like after the kids were done harvesting, and they could. Okay, now you can go to school.
Yeah.
You didn't get to go to school.
We needed your free labor, and now you can go to school.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So then they were allowed to go to school. So yeah, that's just something that it's always been. So I mean, look at some of that stuff. Like we just think, oh, well, school starts this time, but there was a reason why it's always been, this time of the year. Which obviously now we don't have nearly as many kids that are working the harvest on their farms that can't go to school.
There's a couple out there.
I'm sure,
Some of those rural communities and stuff.
So it may actually, because we are actually sitting in the last quarter, we may feel like we're looking back, wrapping things up, or decluttering our energy. So yeah, makes sense. Look back at our harvest.
Yeah, so I actually looked. I have an app, and when this one airs, will be the 25th, and we'll actually be in a waxing crescent.
Okay. Which we will probably
and part 2 will air on October 9th, and will be waning gibbous. So I have an app that I can look ahead at the dates so we can see where that is.
Nice. Well, do you want to do the tarot pool?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're all ready. Okay, so we are 10 of Wands reverse. Okay. Burnout, overstressed, duty-bound, small gains, lack of priorities, delegation, release, letting go. Yeah, no, it doesn't feel right? But
no, I mean, if you think about it, like, yeah, because like we're trying to, talking about like decluttering and kind of like letting go of things and like reflecting, like it's almost like prepping for the next step,
Yeah, now.
Yeah, I like it.
All right.
I approve.
All right. So I wanted to say
Nibbler pulled this one. When we get to it, Nibbler's pull will be talked about. Sorry.
So yeah.
I figured we could start with we're gonna do the waxing journey in this episode.
Okay. We're starting with the
Yeah. Which now I'm thinking about it. What exactly does like the waxing mean? Why do they call it waxing moon?
Well, waning we know is going away. So I assume waxing is
all I
can think is wax on. Wax on, wax off.
Let's see what good old dictionary tells us. Waxing moon. The moon at any time after the new moon and before the full moon. So called because its illuminated area is increasing. So it's getting bigger. So the illuminating is getting increasing. So I don't know. Waxing, where you would have to be a wordy person to know exactly what.
Hold on. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT.
Because
It's
this
a
is
late Middle English word.
Why do
Why
they
do they
call it a
call it a
waxing?
waxing moon? Why do they call it a waxing moon? Why do they call it a waxing moon? Jesus Christ. Yeah. What the hell? Why do they call it a waxing moon? I don't know why it's
Okay,
being like
they
this.
call it a waxing moon because of the old meaning of the word wax, which originally meant to grow, increase, or become larger.
Okay.
So when the moon is waxing, it's the phase where the illuminated part we see from Earth is growing each night, moving from new moon, which we can't see at all, toward a
Or wax
and
on, wax off. Jesus Christ.
we're driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've come to very much appreciate Chat GPT.
Yep.
Sometimes it's useless to me. Sometimes it's very helpful. So at the show, I'd asked a question about a logo, right? Because it'll draw something for you.
Yeah.
So I asked a question about a logo, and then it gave me this logo, and I thought, oh, okay, well, can we, different, and it's like, oh, how it asks you, then it asks you, well, if you want it different, add this questions, and I answered, and it gave me, I swear to God, the exact same logo. And I'm like, okay, let's try this, no, let's touch this, 3 times it gave me the exact same logo, and I'm like, yeah, never mind, not
The image stuff is still not great.
Yeah, so that was, but it was fine, because it was a neat little idea, and it gave me something. September 21st is a new moon.
That is also the fall equinox, isn't it? Yeah, September 21st.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm pretty sure.
Are you looking?
Oh, this book is actually.
Well, you're looking it up. So, themes of the new moon are new beginnings, planting seeds, quiet, intention setting. It's like a baby moon, a brand new baby moon. We're on the beginning of our journey, all fresh and let's see. So, if you want to talk about our current phase, we are in the last quarter right now. So, a lot of times it feels harder to set fresh intentions because the last quarter kind of wants us to release first. This is a great reminder that you can't always plant before you clear the soil. So, yeah, you have to make the soil ready before you can plant. Words. I was going to say something about it. So like I actually kind of love how it works, like the moon phases, if you kind of use it as like almost like a journey tracker through that, like, what is it, 2 weeks?
Yeah, each it's about 2 weeks.
About 2
cycle.
weeks.
A fortnight? Is it a fortnight? Is it a fortnight?
What the fuck is a?
Well, you look up that. But yeah, so if you kind of think of the moon phases as like you're starting a 2-week journey just every time, and so you set this like new intention. It's a really good way to help like keep yourself motivated, like giving yourself nice. That makes sense. 14 nights is for a fortnight. Yeah. But yeah, like, so if we should, it's a good way like to use the moon phases is using it to kind of like keep yourself motivated on projects, is give yourself things that you can do in those 2 weeks. Like, this is my goal for these 2 weeks, and that's all you have to think about is those 2 weeks.
Gives you
Lost it.
Lost it.
Well, through every moon phase, like when we talk about the new moon, the full moon, the waxing, the waning, um, any book you find about moon phases will usually give you some just general, this is the time when you want to do something like this. So the goal, and what I'm hoping that we can, because we have another project that we're brainstorming. So, one of those goals is going to be looking at those phases and actually coming up with what, like, specifically within the grooming salon and business, what should you be doing or what shouldn't you be doing during these times.
Yeah.
So that is something that we're going to be figuring out to work together.
There are lots of different cultures that go by the moon. For the Celts, the Scottish, for them it was the start of a new cycle. And I believe in Scotland they're basically like growing things almost all the time because they have like winter crops.
And winter crops.
I couldn't remember if Scotland was one of those because in the colder climates it's harder to have winter crops.
Yeah, they can only grow so much. And usually we say winter crops, but that just means like the stuff that comes out in the fall that they can eat throughout the winter.
Yeah.
Until they get to the spring.
Yeah, but they use the moon phases to kind of decide when things needed to be done. The Babylonians used lunar calendars, and Bohemian farmers also planted by the moon. I think a lot of cultures, they planted by the moon, planted/harvested stuff.
It's funny. So nowadays you can find, there's just a plethora of books available and websites and everything that's available for, for the witches, right? We can find books that were, but before that, the old Farmer's Almanac gives you all those moon phases.
It does.
And they're really, really cool. When you're at the grocery store, whatever store you're at, you'll usually see them up in the front by the registers. It's a little, 5x7 little magazine, and it just says Farmer's Almanac. Pick one up. Just, they're not easy to read if you don't really know how to read them. But yeah, it's pretty interesting what the information that's usually in them. But yeah, it'll tell you like planting and harvesting, and it's all based on the moon. And stuff. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
No, I mean they even have like there's even things even not planting, but like raising cattle where the moon phases do make a difference.
I've heard of some cultures where they do it with like sheep, like at certain points in the moon phases is when they shear the sheep.
Yeah, so I actually have a few little tidbits. So some believe that hair grows slower when trimmed during a waning moon, which is after the full towards the new, and that hair grows faster and thicker when trimmed during a waxing moon. So after the new moon, going into the full moon, if you do the trimming then, they believe that the hair is going to grow back thicker. I would say that makes complete sense, especially when you're talking about sheep, alpacas, whatever. Those animals that you're getting the wool from to make your garments, you want it thick. You want it a lot and you want it thick. If you're shearing them that time of year,
it could be used for dog grooming now.
It's the opposite, right?
Well, either way, like these dogs, they want to grow their hair long. They should come during this time.
Right.
These ones, they just want them short all the time, so let's keep them during this time.
You're absolutely right. I mean, and here again is something to think about when you're using those moon phases, when you're scheduling your pets for whatever groom you're going to be doing with them. That is exactly what you're looking at. Now, it can obviously, we know there, it can have a backwards effect. People will be like, oh, I don't have to come as often because it's not growing. But you still want them to come on a regular basis.
But maybe don't tell all of them.
Yeah, don't tell them. Just make the damn appointments. They won't know. But it is interesting how sometimes people will come in and they'll say, he seems to have grown so fast. He doesn't seem to have grown at all. And I never really thought, well, I wonder what the moon was doing. Now I'm more mindful to that. I'm like, I wonder what the moon is doing. Why is this cat's hair so sparsely growing back
when it grows
This
back
time,
thick all the time.
Right, when the last time it grew back so thick, and maybe that's exactly it.
Yeah. Some rituals for the new moon. You can do journaling. I think journaling, and there's also writing intentions. I think those are really good things to do, especially during the new moon, because you're prepping for the journey. So you got to reflect on what happened, in the last journey, so it's good to be reflective at this time and also planning ahead, kind of like thinking ahead. But also you can do sigil work, and you can also plant literal seeds. I'm not going to plant a whole lot of literal seeds, but maybe this is the time that I'm planting seeds for ideas, planting seeds for potential students. I don't know. There's other seeds that you can sow. So, interesting question. When you're setting intentions for like the new moon, do you have a tendency, or just in general, whenever you're setting intentions, do you have a tendency to set too many intentions and overwhelm yourself, or do you keep it simple?
I set too many intentions.
Yeah.
That's my go-to, and then I get
frustrated,
and I get I can't do anything. So that's my bad, right? That's one of my defects, is that I overwhelm myself.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't call it.
Oh no, it is. I have my defects. You don't have to help me out. I know.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know.
Here's the thing. It can be a defect or it can be an asset. It just kind of depends on the outcome, or how I'm using it.
Yeah.
And in the case of not getting anything done when I need to get things done, it's a defect. Setting myself up to fail is a defect. Whereas there's nothing wrong with having a lot of, intentions.
Yeah.
But if they're going to overwhelm me, it's not a good thing.
Yeah. No, I definitely have a tendency to do that. I've been working really hard on not overexerting myself in general. And so I try really hard to like limit myself. I also am really bad at keeping up with like what moon phase I'm in. The only time I notice is if I go outside when it's dark out. And then I go, it's this moon. Yep. But yeah, so a lot of times I'm not setting intentions for the new moon as much as I'd like.
So now that I have this app that I have, and the app itself is free. You can pay.
Which one is it?
This is the deluxe moon. There's a paid version, which I actually just bought the paid version because there's a lot of really cool stuff. I didn't even realize there was so much cool stuff, and I thought, I'm gonna pay for it. You don't have to pay for it though. So I had just the regular version, and you can see the moon phase today, yesterday, a week ago, a month from now. You just click it to whatever date you're looking at, and you can see. And so that's kind of why I bought it, because I was always curious about, I wasn't always, but like if I was curious about why did this, could it have had anything? And then I would look and be like, I wonder. Now I'm trying to actually be proactive. And when I sit down, and I'm trying to make it part of my morning ritual. Sit down and open it up and see,
Really good idea. That's like the thing is like I have an app too, and I like it. I just forget it exists most of the time.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I wonder what the moon phase is. Oh, I should look at my app.
It's like my horoscope too. Like I have a pretty cool horoscope app, but I forget sometimes to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying really hard to make that part of my morning ritual.
Yeah. Good idea.
The part I struggle with is getting up early enough to have enough time to do all these things that I want to do in my morning ritual. So that's become the trick, the tough
tricky
part.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, is making that part of.
Good for you. And I just had a note here, the analogy, it's kind of like prepping your dog before the grooming. Yeah, to starting it clean, so you got to do the bath first.
So ChatGPT is pretty cool. If you haven't tried it, try it. I was never one to be like, I'd be like, AI, blah. But it's fun, and I'm using it for fun. I'm not trying to write a book or, make some grand art, steal anybody's stuff, right? I'm not doing anything shady with it, but it's fun. So I punched in moon phases and grooming. And so I got a little list of stuff.
Oh, nice.
So new moon is fresh starts and tension setting. This is a good time for introducing new routines, trying a new style, or setting up a grooming schedule.
It's kind of perfect.
Keeping in mind the waxing and the waning time for the hair growth, but when you're setting up that schedule. But now is a good time to do that, to get a fresh start and try a new style. Or just setting up a schedule for a pet.
Do something. Get ready for doing something different.
Yay!
Yeah, I like that. All right, what's the next one?
Ooh, are we done with segment 1?
Apparently.
All right, no, that's cool.
Segment 2. The next one is the waxing crescent and the first quarter. So the waxing crescent, do you have your book?
Waxing crescent. Follow your curiosity to explore new things. Begin activities to transform yourself and
Okay. So it's like energy of the first sprouts breaking ground. Things are starting to move in your. I'm just gonna keep calling it the journey. The journey. Yeah. And there's a lot of like hope and momentum in this one. Some rituals is you can do affirmations, telling yourself how great you are. You can listen to Snoop Dogg's affirmation song, which is the best. I know the issue with Snoop Dogg, but this was before his issues. Before he got weird. Yeah. Before things happened, Snoop Dogg was actually pretty cool.
yeah, which is like why?
Yeah, and he made a kid show, and it was so cool. And yeah, he has the affirmation song, and it's just yeah, I love it. Unfortunately, things happen. And small daily steps, this is a good time to be like, because it's so early in the journey, it's good to have like small goals so that you can, in whatever you're doing, small goals instead of big ones, so that you keep your momentum going. So even though the moon is waning today, where can you notice little sprouts of new energy anyway?
I see the sprouts of new energy, what we were just talking about, like adding something to my daily ritual.
Mm-hmm.
That's new. It's a sprouting. I haven't quite.
Yeah.
It's not. It hasn't taken root.
Yeah.
Tend to it so that it can take something. So I would say that's a little sprout, new energy.
Yeah. I am
walking my dog.
Nice.
Yeah, like even just one time around the park. I used to walk a lot, and then I don't know,
life happened,
and I just got tired, and I'm still tired, and I still feel very physically exhausted most days. I just don't have the energy to do. And so we had stopped walking. We used to walk a lot, and then we kind of stopped walking. The only time we would walk is if we were out of town with, if the kids are on vacation. But yeah, before I went to Hershey, I started walking the dog, just making myself take her for a walk. And like I said, if I just one time around the park, it's fine.
Yeah.
And of course she loves it.
Yeah.
And gets all excited when you open the closet door, because that's where Alicia's at. So that's something new that I'm pushing.
I was actually thinking about trying to get myself to do like just a walk every day. Just nothing huge, just a walk. Just get myself outside.
I used to, like, even when I was having flare-ups and stuff, I used to, like, make myself go out and walk around, like, the yard at the very least, and now I just haven't been doing that because 'cause I've been busy, and I have a lot of stuff on my plate, but I need to start doing that. I've also been working on trying, like, lately, trying to figure out I'm trying to make my ritual for mornings a little easier, 'cause so I'm having a hard time with the transition of, like, I like to have my calm morning and, like, just chill, just kinda, like, slowly wake up, have something to drink, have coffee or whatever, and I like to do it slowly, but then eventually I need to get to work, and I'm having a hard time getting through that transition period, of, like, going from that to work. So I have been working on trying to figure out a system for that. It's not going great, but I'm trying. I have some little seeds started. It definitely helps when I start playing music. That kind of, like, gets me into the space, but I still have to get myself together enough to put the music on. So,
Once I open the computer, it's like, oh, let me go through my emails real quick, and because I get so much garbage and spam and stuff that I go through and delete it, and it's quick.
Yeah.
But then that leads to, well, let me just jump on Facebook and see what my notifications are, and then that turns into doomsday scrolling. And then I got a comment, or I got a,
to sit down and, like, I just need to sit down and, like, lock in. And once I can do that, I don't get distracted at all. I usually forget to eat, you know? But, like, if I can't get myself to, like, fully lock in and, like, switch into, like, work mode, then I literally will sit there and stare at the computer. Just, like, not doing anything, just staring at it because I can't get myself to do it. So,
I struggle with, I need to shut this and do something else, and I'll shut it, and I'll get up, and maybe I'll put some dishes in the dishwasher, and then I'll think of something. Oh, let me look this up real quick. And then the next thing I know, I'm back on fucking Facebook, just scrolling, like not interacting,
Yeah.
not doing anything productive, not reaching anybody,
Yeah.
just scrolling. And so it's definitely a struggle for me. There's like this, it's like it's good and it's bad. Like I said, the defect, the asset. Like if I'm using it for good, it's an asset, but if I'm using it for bad, it's a big, and that's where I'm at. I've got to use it for good.
Yeah, and
I don't really have that much issue with the social media getting distracting for me. It's getting myself to sit down and fucking go to work. I can't It's really hard for me to switch into that mode. And I've gotten where I can do it, but it takes so long to get myself to that point. And so I need to figure out better ways to get myself there quicker so I can actually get more work done. Because I get a lot done when I'm working. Yeah. And that's how I've been keeping up. But if I just actually sat down and worked for like a normal amount of time, then I would get a lot of shit done. So sometimes I think my brain is like, I have to make it a little bit easier on everyone else around you. Because if you do all of the work, then they're not going to get anything.
Yeah, those are those little things our brains tell us.
Yeah. So, yeah. But also, I have noticed recently, since getting back from Hershey and then recovering from being sick, I have been noticing just like a new energy. Like, I have been feeling that, like, we're starting something new, starting the journey, And now I'm realizing, oh, that was that new moon or the whole moon thing. Yeah. So, cool things. Yeah. So then we want to talk about the first quarter. Is there anything about first quarter in your book? All right. So, action. I don't remember why I have this note. Half moon tension equals decisions and problem solving.
Well, I think that if you go to the next thing that you talk about, then it kind of ties in to that.
The last quarter today is like our first quarter's older sibling. Both are decision points, but last quarter asks what to cut away, while first quarter asks what to push through. Yeah. Okay.
So decisions, problem solving. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so the first quarter is going to be more about what we are going to work on, basically, like what we're going to work towards. And then okay, so those make sense, like quarters. That just makes sense. So rituals that we can do. Protection spells. Some of these things I don't remember why I wrote them. Yeah, breaking blocks. I don't know what road opener work is.
Okay. That happens. We write stuff down.
I write a lot of stuff down.
I do that too. I go back through some of my old journaling stuff, like if I'm looking for something specific that I know I wrote down, and I'll start to read through some of the stuff. And think, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
What the hell was I thinking?
Yeah, I don't know
where my brain was for this, but yeah, first quarter was rough. Yeah, and kind of the analogy for it is a groom halfway done. You can see what's working and what's not, kind of thing.
And I have first quarter is growth, action, momentum. Focus on maintenance, like brushing out mats before they get worse, trimming nails, managing shedding before it builds up.
Okay. Yeah. Being proactive. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Quarter.
Yep.
Going.
Yep. We're getting a good start.
Yeah, getting a good start. Getting some momentum. All right. You want to talk about the waxing gibbous?
Waxing gibbous. All right. You read what I got?
Yes.
This nearly full moon is a powerful time to look closely at your plans for the moon phase and refine them. Cast spells for personal power, strength, and tenacity. Keep going. You got this.
Okay.
Refine your plans.
Yeah,
if you're a creative groomer,
yeah,
this is the time when you look at what you've been doing or what you've been thinking about doing and go, oh, maybe I should. Like a good friend of ours, groomer, was just telling us no, you were at a different table, but she was telling those of us at the table that she made some changes, kind of a big change to her design.
I wonder if it was. But yeah, this is like a good time to look at like your systems and stuff too, and how your protocols are. It's a good time to look at those things. Make sure you're doing it the best you can.
Yeah, it was.
It was?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Nearly full, so yeah, waxing.
We're gonna have to tell her.
Yeah, that is too funny.
That is crazy. Did it work out?
I think it did.
Cool.
I think it did.
Yeah. So maybe you're refining your creative design. Maybe I would try to refine my design for Korea next year. I still don't know what I'm going to do. I keep going back and forth. So that's going to be fun.
Don't make any decisions unless it's a waxing gibbous.
Yep, apparently. So rituals. You can
check in on your goals. Always good. I think that's one thing that a lot of people struggle with when it comes to like goals is, and like not even just big goals, like small goals too, but like people forget to go back and check in. Like they put a system in place, but then they don't go back and check in, and then to make sure it's and I see it with the neurodivergent community a lot. Like they all do it where it's like we buy this new journal that we're gonna use to plan our entire lives out.
Pretty to write in.
That's my biggest problem. It's too pretty to write in. But also, like, we're like, this is going to change our lives. And we start using it, but then we forget about it. We don't go back and keep checking in. So it's something that we have to like really.
Like what I do is I just write the day, and then I don't go back and look what I wrote a week ago.
Yeah.
Like I pull tarot cards. I don't pull a tarot card every single day, but like I'll pull a tarot card, and usually it's very like it's good. Like it makes complete sense to me. But I don't always go back and look at it like, did I follow
Yeah.
The advice that I was seeing in that card, that do this or do that, or not do this or even my horoscope for that matter. My horoscope or today was about, I can't remember, but not avoiding things but I avoid things. I don't go back and look and like, I was good about not avoiding. I did the things I was. Anyways.
Yeah.
What was I talking about? Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, you can declutter spells or plan. If I don't remember what I was gonna say. What is one project you always stall on at this point? Do you have a hard time doing something at this point, like working on a project?
Declutter. The ritual declutter. That's what I stall on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny, that just came up in a meeting that I was at earlier today. That idea of, I walk into a room and I want to clean it and it's overwhelming. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then I end up, not only do I not declutter, but I end up adding more clutter.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel like during the waxing gibbous, I do tend to, that's when I start feeling like I have a lot less energy, and I can't get myself to keep going. I do, but it's hard. And it's just it almost I start to feel kind of burnt out on whatever thing, and I definitely I notice that I feel that pretty it comes at a certain time. And then I'll start to get depressed.
And that's why you should be paying attention to those moon phases.
Yeah.
See, a few weeks ago when I was having my meltdown, right? That's something that I need to pay attention to. What's the moon doing? What should I?
What was the moon doing, Brenda?
I don't remember what date that was now.
You should probably check it out.
But yeah, so I know this is kind of where my where I tend to plateau, where I'm just on things where I'm either gonna keep doing it, I'm gonna do great, or it's just done. And I'm like, nope. Animals are also more active in brighter moonlight, which is an interesting little tidbit. So they're gonna be more active probably during the waxing gibbous. Watch out for deer if you're by us. Holy crap. So it was the waxing gibbous when we were there. Remember how many freaking deer we saw? In cities? It was weird. Yeah. Kind of interesting though. That makes sense why there was so much more animals. We saw a lot of deer. So we are actually sitting in the waning energy right now, which is the flip side. So instead of refining to push forward, the last quarter refines by more cutting back and streamlining, where in other quarters we would be more refining and pushing forward, not cutting things off. So we're pruning. That's actually kind of a cool little thing too. You usually prune during prune plants and stuff. You usually do it either in, I think it's the second quarter or the third quarter. I wonder, I'd have to look up the second quarter too, but yeah, I bet that has pruning has something, because that's what you're doing. You're pruning, when you're refining. You're pruning all of the little branches that you don't need. So yeah, that was the waxing gibbous. I'm amazed at how fast this is.
This is going to air on September 25th, which will be a waxing crescent, and the moon will be in Scorpio. I'm going to read what this says since we're recapping. Moon in Scorpio, a dark water sign. Use the moon in Scorpio to find motivation, harness your own power, take control, and rid yourself of things that no longer serve you. You may find you've got the drive and power to work on your finances or speak your mind on things you typically are afraid to bring up. Use this moon time to pursue any of your passions or go deep into topics of it. So when this airs, that is what.
I like it. Cool. Okay.
Are we ready to do Nibbler's Oracle poll?
Nibbler! Thanks, Nibbler! Yes, we are.
This time we got passion. So if you want to look at it, it's pretty. It is. So the flower is Bougainvillea. I don't know if I pronounced that right. It is a very confusing name. The butterfly is Octaeus. I'm trying my best. Native to Brazil, Bougainvillea. I don't know how to pronounce it. Bougainvillea? That makes sense. Bougainvillea? Yeah. Bougainvillea. Yeah. That's what we'll call it. Bougainvillea. Was introduced to Europe and Australia in the early 1800s. Due to how well the Bougainvillea hybridizes with others from its genus, the lines blur on the divisions, causing much perplexity around classification. Bright, modified leaves are often mistaken for flowers, and it is amongst their color that the small, usually white, true flower can be found. These brilliant colored leaves make bougainvillea popular in ornamental gardens. This vine can overtake other plants, so it is normally planted around walls or in hanging or standing pots. Our passions drive and direct most of our experiences. We pursue our fascinations in our hobbies, purchases, and actions. In our decision making, passion is often in the driver's seat. This card is urging you to kick your passion into high gear. It is time to follow your desires, even in small ways. Define and make plans to explore and engage with your aspirations as often as possible, even when others tell you it's silly. Take classes, do research, and learn about the areas you're impassioned with. Your passions are your own and no one else's. Follow them down the rabbit hole and enjoy the ride.
That fits very well.
I agree.
This is going to land for airing.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like that's pretty perfect. I also find it interesting, like I like how they picked like the flower is like this viney flower that or plant that will like take over other plants. Like your passion can just like overflow like that. I like that like visual idea of it too. So very very good choice, Nibbler. Good work.
Nibbler!
I don't know what I did, but okay.
You're gonna have to do it again too, buddy.
Yep. You gotta pick the next one.
Alright. What do we got? We got next time we're gonna start right where we left off.
Yeah, so we're gonna recap the waxing phases basically. So what we talked about today. We talked about the waxing phases. So there was the waning. Hold on, I'm looking at the wrong pages. Yes, new moon and the waxing
First
gibbous.
quarter and the waxing gibbous.
All
right. So yeah, that's what we talked about. What are they?
So the new moon, first quarter, and then last quarter.
But like, what? How do they break up quarters? Like, where does it go? Oh Jesus Christ! No, ignore me. I just had a moment. My brain totally. Yep. All right. So we're recording this under the last quarter. So we will probably notice how this is like very reflective, very release focused energy is landing as we talk about beginnings and building, which kind of makes sense. I'm noodling some new ideas and stuff like that. It's right on track. Damn moon phases getting me like that. So next time we will start where we are with the waning half of the cycle. Do you have the word? So as above, so below, may your pets be clean and your spirits glow.